What's happening, YouTube? Hope everyone's good, yeah? Yeah, guys, it's me, Little Brad Show. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'd like to give you a warm welcome. So, guys, in today's video, as you read by the title and so by the thumbnail, I'm gonna be reacting to scary stories, like scary real life stories. Receive! Don't worry, guys, I haven't forgotten that word, guys. Receive! That's like one of the OG words now. I'm gonna be using it for the whole video. And yo, if you don't know how I unlock this word, go back to my last video and go watch. Yeah. So guys, it's right by the title. Yeah. Scary stories. Yeah. No problem. Yeah, guys. But anyways, guys, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Like, subscribe, guys. Hit that notification bell. So yeah. Without further ado or anything, like, let's get into the video. I'm starting off the video though. Okay. Arms of Goddess, I bet.
Wanted nothing to do with the daily hustle and bustle of working in the city, having to commute early in the morning for a job that was only a half hour away thanks to the absurd amount of traffic she had to fight through. To make matters worse, she was undeniably beautiful, with her shining blue eyes and vibrant red hair that seemed to ignite whenever it went under direct light. In the city, that made her a high-priority target for catcalling and being followed around by less than well-intentioned fellows. Eventually, she could no longer deal with these issues, and so decided to quit her job and do what she loved to do the most: write. Thankfully, she had a sizable amount of money saved up and a good chunk of savings that allowed her to live comfortably.
Okay, so she's living good for herself, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, yeah.
In other words, she had 1 year to make it big as a writer, or she was screwed. Not wanting to live in the city anymore, she
she a writer now. Alright, that seems good though, because you know sometimes yeah people wanna do other jobs like writing and stuff. So yeah.
moved out into the woods, opting to purchase a
Well, hold on, bro. Nah, wait, bro. You chose to move into the woods. What the fuck?
relatively small yet cozy cabin. Her family was understandably upset by this turn of events, but she did not mind their
Bro, I'd be upset too.
What was done, as she told them. The first few weeks out there was a great success for her, at least in her mind. She wrote thousands of words every day for short stories, and even a big novel she had planned. In between her writing binges, she would take walks around her property, soaking in the sweet and natural scents that the outside world had to offer, taking inspiration from
Guys, I don't like the soundtrack like there, you know what I'm saying? This one of the background sounds nah. Guys, low key. I don't really watch scary stories alone, guys. Like I just like when I watch scary stuff, especially listening to scary stories that are animated, I just prefer to watch it with someone though. But not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it above with y'all. I'm a little scared.
the earth
Yeah.
around her and the occasional occurrence of a small forest critter that brought her joy. One day, however, when she was on one of her walks and a few miles away from her cabin, she encountered something odd. Beneath one of the pine trails she often frequented was a rather arcane-looking skull that brought her a
What the fuck, bro? What in the world is that, bruh? Like, bro, Bumbleclad. Wait, is that an extra eye there beneath the other eye? Like, bro, what is that, bruh?
great deal of concern and confusion. She knelt down to inspect it.
I'd be confused too.
Cocked an eyebrow as she looked it over. By all measurements, it looked like a normal skull of a deer, complete with antlers. There were two odd additions to the skull, however. The first was that there were two small horns that protruded just above where the forehead would be.
Bro, stop with the two horns. Yeah, like, bro, like.
And the second was that just below where its eye sockets were another set of eyes that were about the size of a human's.
Hold on, let me adjust my lighting
here.
here.
It was just some cruel trick or some artistic creation and some abomination. She decided to pick it up and find out for herself. Upon touching the skull, she instantly felt a deep sensation of dread surge throughout her body, making her feel sick. Carrie backed
Oh,
away from it in a hurry and eyed it frightfully as she stumbled to her feet and jogged all the way back to her cabin, all the while trying to ignore the feeling of being watched as she did so. As soon as she arrived home, she slammed the door behind her and locked it. She then closed her blinds
damn.
and peeked outside through them to try and see if there was actually someone there, or if her mind was just playing tricks on her. When nothing happened after a few minutes, she slumped down onto her couch and sighed in relief, chalking the situation up to just
Okay.
being isolated from others for an extended period of time. That night, as she was writing, she was interrupted by the loud grunting of a deer. She chuckled, thinking it was
Hey
just some
yo, hey yo. That's not one of the. But that grunting sounds bad. Like something's not
mutter
right.
making its way through the area. Her hands froze in fear when a cacophony of grunts piped up one after another. Quickly, she turned off all the lights inside, grabbed a knife from the kitchen, and went to the window praying to God that there was just a herd of deer outside. To her complete and utter dismay, she was wrong. Standing in front of her cabin about 10 yards away stood three individuals.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. No, bruh. Bro, imagine looking outside the window and then see three people standing there. Nah, bro. That's scary, bruh.
Wearing long black cloaks. Adorning their heads were deer skulls, the same type of deer skull
Those
that she
masks.
had encountered earlier that day. One
Yeah.
by one, they made the same grunting sounds from
Chad, this is not
before,
looking good.
only this time they began walking towards the cabin. Understandably freaked out, she grabbed her phone and attempted to call the police. No service, brother. Bro, no service. That means she doesn't have any signal. Nah, lady, you are cooked. Bro, if you find yourself in a similar situation and then you try calling the feds, and there's no signal, you are cooked. Tears filled her eyes as she saw no service written across the top of her phone. In frustration, she threw it
Damn.
on the ground and returned to the window to see that they were nearly at her door now, their grunts louder than ever. She screamed at them to go away, that she was armed, and to just leave her alone. After her panic-filled rant, she backed away from the window, shakily holding the knife in her hands. Seconds later,
Damn.
she turned into a sobbing mess as the individuals antagonizing her began knocking on her door.
Oh shit, no, bro, they're knocking now, bro. Bro, oh, guys, I'm literally having chills in my spine, bro. Like, cause now you see, I'm wearing this gown, just wear this, this top hoodie part, bro. Just to feel safe, guys, cause now I'm having chills, but I'm not gonna lie. No.
Please, just go away!
She screamed. The knocking became louder and more insistent as time went by, until just when
Bro, is he trying to break the
she
door?
thought she couldn't take it anymore, it stopped.
What?
She asked aloud, surprised that the threat decided to move along. She untensed her body and leaned up against the wall to compose herself. Without warning, a loud metallic clanging sound was heard, and she saw her doorknob stumble out of the door and onto.
No! No! Bro, they literally entering your crib, lady. Bro, you gotta find an emergency exit, bro. Like, you gotta find a way to leave. Bruh.
Wooden floor below. Slowly, her door creaked open, and in stepped the tallest of the three masked individuals. Even with his face obscured, she could see how distorted and disfigured his features were beneath the skull.
Stop, please! Don't make me use this!
Carrie shouted as she raised the knife back up and aimed it towards him. He did nothing but stand silently and outstretched his arms as though he were a saint posing for a painting. In defiance, Carrie screamed and charged toward the man, knife poised to pierce his chest. Quicker than the wind, he swatted her hand to the side and followed.
Damn! Damn! The way bro swatted that knife felt like it was nothing, bro. She's like, yeet? Bro. Bro. That means her swinging her hand with the knife was too slow for him.
Up with a power punch to her gut, winding her in the process. She
Oh.
collapsed limply into his arms, heaving and gasping for air. Chair. She heard him command the other two who rushed into the cabin. Taking a chair from her dining table, they set it in the middle of the room, and Carrie was gingerly.
Wait, bro, these people look like they're from the cult or something. Like, bro, is y'all from the cult? Nah, bro. Like, this sounds like it's a real life story, bro, because, these people look like they're from the cult.
Seated in it. Defenseless and weak, she whispered for them to take whatever they wanted, but to just leave her alone as they proceeded to strap her down with twine. The goddess despises
Damn.
material goods. Divinity has no such need for such petty items. What she seeks is beauty, and the ability to create beauty.
Beauty.
You're a writer, yes? Surely you know what I mean.
Bro, how does he know that she's a writer? That means they've been spying on her for a long time.
How do you know I'm a writer?
Because the goddess led you to us, my dear.
I don't
No.
understand.
Carrie muttered as she looked between the three men. Sculptures, paintings, pottery, buildings, books, shrines, all created with the arms of talented individuals. You should feel blessed. Carrie squinted her eyes at him, completely bewildered at the situation.
Why are you here?
She says you have lovely arms, Carrie.
Excuse me?
Ooh.
Tears returned to her eyes as her stomach sank. So much potential not yet used. This is what she desires, and you have exactly that. He walked behind Carrie and placed his hands on her shoulders, and with bony fingers ran them up and down her arms. Carrie
Hey, whoa, what's he trying to do, bros? The way you just rubbing your hands up and down her shoulders, bro. Is he trying to seduce her?
shuddered and swallowed hard.
You don't have to do this.
Carrie whimpered. I'm sorry, child. I weep for you. Truly, I do. His grip tightened around her shoulders, his fingernails digging into her skin and drawing blood. Carrie screamed in pain.
Damn.
But just think, you're going to be part of something so undeniably beautiful that this pain will become something to rejoice about. Upon realizing what was going to happen to her,
Rejoice.
Carrie's eyes widened and she thrashed around, begging and pleading to be let go. But all of those pleas fell upon the ears of men deaf to her plight. Detective.
No, wait, hold on. What happened? Okay, he said to take or
Walked
something,
under
right?
the yellow tape that surrounded the cabin of Carrie Wilkins and went straight inside. In the center of the room sat the woman in question. He shook his head and did his best not to vomit at what he saw. A ring of leaves surrounded the chair that Carrie sat in, and a crown of twigs and flowers adorned her bloodied head.
Bro, this is disturbing, bro. This, bro, this... Shit. That sounds disturbing.
Her
And
mouth
in
was agape,
perspective.
with a few berries resting upon her tongue. Worst of all, her arms had been surgically.
No! No! Shit, man, shit. Bro, she has her arm sliced off, bruh. Bro, this is disturbing. Like, bro. Damn, bro, this is disturbing.
Removed, and pools of blood bathed the leaves below from her still leaking arms.
Damn.
Holt exited the cabin, loosened the tie to his suit in frustration, and scratched his rugged graying beard.
He's pissed.
As he contemplated where to go from that disturbing sight, he was approached by an officer.
Detective Holt, as I'm sure you're aware, the victim was found early this morning due to her parents making a surprise visit and found her in that state.
Do you have any news for me?
Yo, yo,
Or
yo.
are you just repeating to me verbally the messed up shit I just saw? The young woman cleared her throat and
That's messed up.
apologized.
This was found on the table next to the victim.
She handed Holt a folded piece of paper that had a crudely drawn skull and blood on it. It read as follows. The time for the goddess to awaken has come. With her arms she crafts, but what use are arms without eyes, which wish to see her own creations? Cultists. Holt grunted as he peered back inside at the mutilated woman.
What do
Oh.
we do, sir?
Drink. It's gonna be a long day.
Bro. Bro. Bro, like, damn. This is one of the most disturbing endings I've ever seen and heard. Nah, Chad. This is disturbing though. Nah, bro. Oh my days, bruh. Hey guys, now subscribe, guys. Like, hit the subscribe button. The things that I'm watching, the things that I'm reacting to for y'all, now hit the subscribe button. Now you gotta hit that sub button, like, ring the notification bell. So guys, guys, I'm traumatized. So guys, I appreciate you watching this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. Make sure you comment. Also subscribe. But damn, I'ma go. I'm finna go cry myself to sleep. Bah. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Yes, sir. Bah.